Hello, welcome back to Only Pistols. Today we're having a look at an original Model 10. This is a spring-powered, single-shot, recoilless target pistol. Let's start by looking at the markings on it. And here on the breech, caliber 4.5177, the serial number, and the low pressure marking showing it's in a low-powered air pistol. Bit faint marking, but we'll get it. Made in Germany, and the production date, so get the faces, which is June 78, and again faintly marked, but it is there. It's Deutsche patent and Ausland patent, so German federal patents and other foreign patents. No other markings on this side. And then on the top, original and Model 10, very clearly stamped. The rear sight, let's start by looking at that. It's quite a blocky unit now and was brought in with the Model 10, so the new sight standard there. And it's marked for windage and elevation, click adjustable, and you can also move it forwards and backwards, so you've got three positions that are available to set the length of some movement of the rear sight to increase or decrease the sight radius. Foresight is dovetailed into the barrel and then held in position by this screw at the front, so that actually locates it. And then you've also got an adjustable foresight blade. So by undoing this screw here, you can rotate the triangular blade round to give you a different aspect of the blade, so you can make it thinner than that. That's set at the maximum, which is 4mm. They do suggest in the manual that you can move it either direction depending on which way your light source is coming from. Never been tempted to do that. Barrel is enclosed within this plastic shroud, and that's the loading. That's a loading assist. So you turn that up and over so that you can load the pistol without getting your hand onto the foresight. This one is in pretty good condition. There is a start of a crack forming there at the end. They do suffer quite badly from cracking. This one's also got the optional weight that came on the later pistols, and that probably helps spread some of the load from cocking it. The barrel itself, you can just about see that, is just left machined. So underneath the shroud, get a view of it there as well, it's just roughly machined, so it's not finished and polished. Construction, so steel rifle barrel, plastic shroud over the barrel, phosphate fin. I think it's a phosphate finish on the receiver. We've got a tin cover here for the trigger housing, and the trigger guard itself is plastic. Grips are a two-piece hardwood grip, oil finished, with an adjustable palm shelf, and also something else that was quite unique to original or Diana was this adjustable floor plate that could be brought back. Now you adjust it using that screw there, and while it's a great idea, the idea was that it would engage with your wrist, which of course, as all of you know who use your ISSF rulebook, is now completely forbidden. So if you're using this in a competition, remember to put it in, because otherwise some sharp-eyed judge will go, oh no, you've been eliminated. So two-part, good grip. Well, yeah, it's a good grip. Trigger, fully adjustable. For reach, you can set the preload on the first stage and the second stage, pretty much everything. You've got this trigger shoe that sits over the trigger itself, which you can adjust as well to give you a slight angle on it. It's a very precise, very good trigger. And it gives you lots of adjustments, so you can really set it up how you want to. So it's a recoilless pistol, and The way this works, it's the GISS system that originally came out in the 1960 Model 6, and that is quite simply that there are two pistons in here. The front piston has the piston seal on it that actually generates the air. The second piston has just a weight and a rubber buffer on it, and when you cock it, the two pistons are brought together by the gear wheel that's under these covers. So there's a gear wheel on either side, and those gear wheels, when you cock the pistol, bring the two pistons back together, and when you fire it, the two pistons move equally at the same speed, they're the same weight, in opposite directions, cancelling one another out. So this is a truly recoilless pistol compared with the fine work bow system, which was a managed recoil system. So let's cock it. And the other thing to note is that compared to the earlier Model 6, this has now got these little screws on top, and they are there to stop the caps undoing. So you take it apart, you unroll those caps, undo those caps. Let's load it, as I said. So turn the protector over and break it open, and as with the Model 6, you've got ball detent with peg down on the breech face. Got a rubber O-ring for the back breech seal. These tend to be less affected by breech seals compared to the earlier pistols. They don't seem to lose their struggle so much with the zeroing. So quite simply, as it's a break barrel, you just place the pistol into the rifling. The other thing, as with the earlier pistols, when you bring the cocking lever back, it locks the trigger. So again, you've got it, you can't release it. There isn't a bear catch as such, but it is blocking the trigger action. So bring the barrel into place, rotate the sleeve down, and there you go, completely and utterly still. As I said, this is truly a recoilless pistol as opposed to a managed recoil system. Quite quick. So, other things about this, the Model 10. The Model 10 is the final version of the GISS system from Diana, stroke original, stroke Beeman, stroke high score, stroke Giccardo, which are all names you'll find on the top of the cylinder. The first version of this, the 74 version, came out and had the rear sight here, because you had a sleeve at the back here which was actually shaped so you could rotate that round. So on the original you could rotate the sleeve round to give you more or less space in the pistol. This model, post 77, comes with plastic spacer which you can put on if you need to tighten that gap up. I have a medium-sized hand, and to be honest, I find this pistol quite difficult with the grip. It's not the most comfortable, and to be honest, most of the time you feel like you're holding on to it. It's not one of those grips that you put your hand in and forget about. You know you're holding it. Other things that were useful about it, interchangeable rear leaf. So the rear leaf, this one is, get it to focus on it, 3.5 millimeters, and you also get a 3 millimeter. And to change those, you quite simply push the sight blade through, turn it the right way, and you literally just unwind that until it comes off. And then you have to be very careful because it's not retained. So the screw, the spring, everything else is all loose in there. So to put it back on, simply put it in place, and screw it back in. So that's how you change the rear sight blade on one of these. So 3-position sights, that does help a little bit. Click adjustable, as I said, and different versions. So the other thing that came out in January 1977, and I know that because I've got this very helpful card that came with it, was the addition of the barrel weight. So that is an 80-gram weight that they added. Like I said, it doesn't make a massive difference to the weight. I've tried firing it without and with it, but to be honest, the biggest thing with that is just helps spread the load from cocking it and probably preserves this barrel shroud. You'll quite often find them damaged because that's quite a thin bit of plastic there. Accuracy wise, yeah, it's plenty accurate. It'll do the job very nicely, thank you. Unfortunately, then I get behind the butt. So yeah, I was doing very well and then took my eye off the ball. As I said, I tend not to shoot lots of cards. I tend to pick it up, use it, and it does what it does. As I said, I struggle with the grip. I know from reading reports other people do as well. It's kind of one of those ones, it fits you or it doesn't. Another thing about this pistol, when it turned up, I got this very nice handbook which came out with pistol, which gives you all the details about it, including how to set the trigger, and it's a very comprehensive trigger. The other thing I found that was interesting in this was actually that it's been redacted. So originally it would have had 3 rear sights, so it would have been 2.53 and 3.5. And the other interesting one on this is that originally this would have said Diana here, air pistol. And the reason for that is that Diana were the company who actually make it, but because this one was destined for the UK and the Diana name after the Second World War was owned by Milbro till the late 80s, it was marked as original, which is what we get for the UK pistols that are destined for us. So it's an original Model 10. As I said, also known as Beeman for the Americans, High Score, and Giccardo, I think, for some other parts of Europe. So a wide number of names that you'll find on the top, but it's all the same thing. It's all a Model 10 pistol. So there you go. The original stroke Diana Model 10, a very usable pistol, completely recoilless and very easy to use. The other big difference compared to the earlier pistols, the earlier GISS pistols, is actually in this section here. So with the earlier pistols, the shroud that covers all the trigger workings would actually continue right back here, and so you would hold the pistol much lower down. With this, you are actually holding the pistol right up against the tube, so it gives you a much lower bore line. So that is a vast improvement. It makes it much easier to see the sights and to hold the pistol, much less lateral wobble. But as I said, unfortunately, I just find that grip really difficult to get to grips with, and I do that with all the originals, to be honest. Compared to Finework Bauer or FAS, it's a difficult one, but it is a lovely pistol, and in that utility phosphated black, it really means business. So I hope you've liked this. If you have, please like, share, subscribe, click the bell icon so you know when some more pistols turn up. And otherwise, I'll see you again soon with another pistol. Thanks so much. Bye.